The biggest news will be with Joe Burrow. You know, he had an acute injury yesterday, likely on the play before his last one, where he tore a ligament in his wrist that will likely require surgery and require him to be out for the rest of the season. So we're still gathering more information on that, but that seems to be where it's headed right now. So that's the news, and you know, just talking to guys on the team, excited to rally around Jake, and we got a lot of great players on this team, and so excited to see this team really band together for these last 7 weeks and find a way, you know, and so we're excited for that opportunity, but obviously disappointed for Joe.
How did y'all come to the conclusion that it was on that before?
That's the best guess. You know, you just see how he landed. Clowney kind of lands on top of him, and the way that he caught his wrist, you know, for him to throw the way he did before that, and then the next play not be able to really grab the ball, that seems to make the most sense.
So is it a certain part of the hit?
Wrist.
Did you even see it in the moment? You just call the next play like normal?
Yeah, no, didn't, you know. And I don't even know that I can't answer for him, but obviously threw it, and you can tell as he's kind of throwing it, he can feel it as he's throwing that ball, and the ball really dies on him and makes a good catch for touchdown.
Zac, in conversations with him, did he say at all he'd heard it in the Houston game, in practice
No.
or anything like that? It
No.
just all occurred last night?
Practiced fully all week. Looked great at warm-ups, and so, no, everything was good.
I guess you're not waiting for
Appears to be the way it's trending.
You talked to Joe,
I did.
and how's he handling it?
Yeah, as well as you can. Obviously very disappointed because he likes leading this team, and positive matter. You can only control what you can control, and his next step for us is continue to lead this team just in a different way and assisting Jake, and trust that he'll be able to do that and help us be fine moving forward.
He'll be around.
Today he is. You know, again, well, that comes with gathering the information, and if there's potential surgery, I don't know how all that plays into it, but right now, yes.
what was he wearing on the plane on his right wrist?
I don't know. That's totally unrelated to what this was. A lot of our guys wear different compression things on the plane, but again, that's something he did.
Was it, you know, if it was even a brace or was it a compression sleeve? What?
No, I don't know exactly what it was, but totally unrelated to what this was.
How common is that, especially on road trips?
I see guys wearing that stuff all the time, you know, on different body parts, and I haven't made it a point to ask them all about it every time they do it.
Circumstances get difficult. What do you look for in your leaders, Zac, going forward?
Well, I think what's comforting is you look at our team, all the great talent and all the great players we have on this team. And sure, this is adversity. It's not foreign to our team, you know, over the last several years and even this year. And so it's exciting to see guys rally around each other and rally around Jake playing quarterback, his first opportunity to do this. And I'm excited to see this team respond. And I feel energy. Obviously, it's.
What did you learn from this?
Well, this is why how you built the locker room matters most, and feel like we've got a strong locker room as we've ever had with the character of the leadership and the strength at each position that we have, to be able to respond the right way. And that's what you learn is when you lose a player, it's time for other guys to step up and continue to step up, and you know, felt like we'd hit a really good stride there. We had a tough 5 days, you know, where we dropped 2 games, one on the last second field goal and one on the road on a short week against a good team. And confident that this team is going to bounce back and respond the right way.
When you look at a guy like Joe, who means so much to this city and the fan base here, and a guy who you've grown close with over the years, to see the adversity that he's had to face,
Yeah.
the knee, the appendectomy, the calf, and now this, how tough is that for you to have to watch that?
It's unfortunate to see a guy who works as hard as he does. You know, the time and energy he puts into his body and making sure he's at his best for this organization. You know, it kills you to watch somebody have to go through this, you know, several times now. And that's football. You know, you look around the league and this is something that happens to quarterbacks. Quarterbacks are going to deal with this kind of stuff. And now it's on the rest of the team to kind of rally around each other and find a way out of this.
How is Joe handling this?
Positively. You know, it's hard. It's difficult to get that news. But my interactions with him face-to-face is obviously disappointed it's happened, but apologetic to me, like he had any control over this. You know, it's an injury. That's what happens because he wants to be out there with the guys. But trust, you know, I just saw him in the quarterback room. He's in there helping Jake and AJ right now. So confident that he'll help us any way he can.
I know it's really early, and surgery could be pending and all of that. But is he expecting expected to make a full recovery?
Yes, that's the positive thing about this type of surgery is that guys come back and are able to hit the ground running, where he left off. And so I'm not going to put into a timeline right now before we have all the information, but that's the encouraging part is this is something guys respond to, in a very positive manner and can get back to full speed, whenever that timeline is.
With just over 2 minutes left in the half, ground against the ball, you're pretty aggressive there. What did you know about Joe at the time and the decision to kind of push the ball and be aggressive instead of maybe taking it into the half if maybe you didn't know of Joe?
Yeah, I didn't know. Just you have to assume in those moments that it's Jake for the rest of the game. That's what you have to assume. No information on that, but thought Jake did a really good job. And it's crazy. You look at a turning point, that third down play that ended up getting overturned is tough because then they got an opportunity to go back there and score points. And so we were in a good situation there, getting the ball coming out of the half and just didn't go our way. But I thought Jake, his first live action on the road on a Thursday night, I think we had 8 full speed reps on the week, obviously that the first team offense got, as opposed to a normal, in the 40s and 50s, 60s. So really proud of the way that he responded and just what I thought was so special about him was how confident and calm he was. And that allowed me to call everything that was on the menu and not have to dumb it down because new guys coming in the game. So that gave me confidence. I felt the team had the confidence, the coaching staff had that confidence, and Jake's worked for this opportunity his entire life, and he's prepared the right way. He's in the building as much as anybody on this team, waiting for moments like this. Obviously, not at the way it happened to Joe, but that's the life of a backup quarterback. And so, really proud of the way he went in there with a calm attitude and was able to execute the plan and give us a chance to move the ball and score some points.
Zach, given that Joe has been here, I guess, over the course of the day, how come it hasn't come up as to what exactly he was wearing on the plane?
With who?
With you?
I mean, our guys wear this stuff all the time, so I don't get into it with them.
Has the league contacted you about the injury report?
Not me. No.
No?
Nope.
Do you see any similarities? Obviously, he was wearing a compression sleeve on his calf before the calf issue. Is there any parallels between the two situations?
No.
AJ McCarron obviously got in the building, was the third quarterback on
Yep.
the practice squad. How have you seen him evolve? Because he'll probably be sliding that backup role.
Yeah, get more comfortable just the way we call things. Obviously, he's got a lot of experience in the league, and I think he was able to quickly piece together, okay, this is a concept I understand. It's just called this now in this offense. And part of the reason he was here was familiarity with people who had confidence that he's getting up to speed also on kind of how we operate with all the different concepts and protections and things like that.
After the game, Jake talked about, having a lot of confidence, something he's always had. How important kind of has that been in your evaluation of him as you guys have gotten over the years?
That's a big part of the battle of playing quarterback is you've put in the work to have confidence in yourself. And it's not just false hope. It's not just you get out there and put on a brave face trying to trick everybody into thinking you know what you're doing. Jake has done that, and he's shown that through his actions. He's shown that through his ability to bond with everyone in the locker room. I think guys think really highly of Jake and respect the work he puts in. And again, I can't speak enough to the types of questions that he asks. He asks difficult questions in the meetings to make sure that he's prepared. If it's something maybe there's so much to cover over the course of a week, that is the job of backup quarterback is again, you're an extension of the coaching staff. And sometimes you got to, hey, let's make sure we talk about this also. And so Jake's always done a great job of that, as good as anybody I've been around. And that's prepared him to go into a moment like this. And again, go in on a short week at Baltimore versus a really good defense and give us a chance to move the ball.
You've stressed complimentary football all year, Zach, for the last several years of
Yeah.
your own success. This is probably where it's even more critical now, I would say.
Sure. Absolutely. We're counting on everyone to step it up even a notch further. And again, you spend more time today probably looking around the locker room at the guys we have on the team, and we got a lot of great players, a lot of great men on this team. And so I'm excited to see how everybody responds. And I think it's a great opportunity for this team to really band together and continue to make something of the rest of the season.
How much does the offense change with Jake in there?
Not much. Jake, he's got a really good grasp. He's been here, how many years now? Right before the Minnesota game. So that was 3 years ago, I guess. So I feel very confident that he can do all the things that we ask our guys to do in our offense, and so it doesn't take anything off the table. Obviously, you want to play to his strengths. So as you continue to change conversations from, hey Joe, what do you like in the plan, to more shifting to, Jake, what do you feel most comfortable with in these situations? That's the only thing that really changes. But in terms of the scope of our offense, everything stays on the table.
Do those preseason reps and training camp reps that he got with
Yeah.
the ones, I would assume that helps him at this
It
point.
absolutely does. He got more reps than any number 2 quarterback in the league in training camp, and so these are the moments where that helps, and that's why he was able to go in with taking no physical full speed reps with the ones last week and being able to go execute and have the confidence in the guys, and so again that's encouraging to see from Jake, and I expect to see more of that going forward.
Is the goal to potentially add a third quarterback to the practice squad?
I think that's a conversation we'll have, with Duke and the staff, and that's more just again to take some throws off of those guys as you're doing scout team work and routes on air.
Do you feel comfortable with Jake and AJ right now as your
I do. Yep.
What about AJ?
All right, we've been listening and we're hearing the news straight from Bengals head coach Zac Taylor there. Quarterback Joe Burrow out for the season with a torn ligament in his wrist. He said it will likely require surgery. Details still emerging on this. This means backup quarterback Jake Browning, who took over during last night's game against the Ravens, will take over for the season. Taylor says that he has confidence in Jake and looks forward to see how other players on the team will now step up for this. As for the brace that Joe Burrow was wearing on his wrist prior to the game, Taylor said players wear a number of things when they fly and when they travel, and that it had nothing to do with this wrist injury. Sports anchor Caleb Noe is following the story along with Marshall Kramsky. We'll have the latest details coming up live at 5 o'clock and always on WCPO.com.